At this time, I'd like to introduce Mike Battaglia. Everybody knows Mike. And Mike will give us some background on the race. And then Mike, after the background, same old thing. We're going to have the racing office here to pick the horses. I'll try to put them in the right place, and then you'll come back and give us the odds, right?
You got it.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Hello, everyone. Big race, 46th running of the Jack Cincinnati Casino Spiral Stakes. Rolls right off your tongue, doesn't it? This is actually going to be my first Spiral as a fan. I've been here for everyone, but I've been working. I actually get to go to the 10th this year. I'm kind of happy about that. With the money Turfway paid me when I was announcing, I really couldn't afford to buy tickets to the tent. But now, Chip was kind enough to give me tickets to the tent, so that was nice of him. I'm really looking forward to it. As Chip mentioned, and if you guys have been here, a lot of you, year after year, you know it was my father that started this race, and how proud I am of the fact that he had enough vision to look at a track like Latonia back in 1972 and say, we're going to have a Derby prep here. Yeah, I mean, we just laughed at him, and it's just grown so much. We've had so many great horses through the years. I think the big turning point for this race was when Wayne Lucas came in like 83 with a horse named Marfa. He was a crazy horse. He used to bite the other horses. He was disqualified from a couple of races, but he won the Spiral, and he went off favored in the Kentucky Derby. He didn't win, but he went off favored in an entry with Wayne Lucas, and I think that kind of helped put the Spiral on the map. And then since then, we've had some great horses. 2 Kentucky Derby winners have come out of this race. Lil E, who was Pat Day's only winner in the Kentucky Derby, and he came out of the Spiral. I was lucky enough to call that race, and it was just one of the highlights of my career, calling the races at Churchill. And then of course Animal Kingdom, back in 2012, I think it was, might have been 2011 I think. Animal Kingdom, when Animal Kingdom won here, he had raced strictly on the turf and the poly track. He went to Churchill Downs, never having raced on the dirt, and winds up winning the Kentucky Derby at like 19-1, 20-1. It was a huge long shot. He went on to he won he's second in the Classic, I think, that year, and he won the Dubai race. That's what he won. He won the race in Dubai. So he had a great career. So many other good ones. I remember a horse called Summer Squall, who came in here and had never been past 6.5 furlongs. He was a sprinter. Neil Howard had him, and he came in here and stretched out to the 1 1/8, won second in the Derby, and he won the Preakness. He was one of the horses that we had that went on to much better things. Also, a couple of years, I think, after that, after Summer Squall, we had Serena's Song come in here, the only filly to ever win this race, and she went on to great things. She actually beat Colts again in the, I think she might have won the Haskell as a 3-year-old, and went on to be 3-year-old champion. We've just had so many great horses come out of this race, and like I said, I'm just so proud of the fact that this started off as a $10,000 race back in 1972, and I'm around to see it still, and we've got a great race again this year. So many good riders and trainers come forward into the Spiral, and we've got a field of 12. Actually, I think 13 are going to enter. We'll have one also eligible, but this is one of the, if not the most well-matched field for the Spiral that I've ever seen in all the run-ins, and I've been here. The favorite in this race, I made 4-1, and very seldom I make a favorite that high. Normally, they're down 2-1, 5-2, but this race is so tough. There are at least 6 or 8 solid solid contenders in this race. Kitten's Cat is going to be, I think, the favorite. It wouldn't surprise me if something else went off as the favorite in here, to be honest with you, but this horse has really good credentials. Ken and Sarah Ramsey own this horse. Of course, they've already won this race 3 times. Ken and Sarah, the leading owners in Kentucky, and Joe Sharp is the trainer. Joe Sharp is a former assistant to Mike Maker, who has, I think he's got 3 or 4 entered again. I think might have 4 entered for the race Saturday. But Joe Sharp is a young trainer. He's doing very well for himself, and this horse is coming in very well. We got a horse called Parlor, who really, Parlor, I think, is the essence of what has made this Spiral a great race. And Parlor is a horse that has only raced 3 times in his life. He's 3 starts. This is a horse that has gotten better in every one of his starts. His last race, he raced at Tampa Bay, and he came from off the pace. Jesus Castanon rode him that day, a veteran from around here in the Kentucky circuit from years ago, and this horse really, really impressed me. Won very easily, and he is a horse that moved up, moved up. The Spiral, he's going to have to move up again, because this is a way better field than he's been running against. So he's going to have to move up again. If he does that, if he can handle that move, that's the kind of horse that we like to see go forward to the Bluegrass, maybe to the Kentucky Derby. So that's just the type of horse that typifies the Spiral as a horse like Parlor. And a couple other ones in here are that way too. Solio from the barn of Graham Motion. Graham's won this race 3 times. Anytime Graham Motion brings a horse in, this horse, he's coming in from Santa Anita. Trevor McCarthy's coming in to ride him. Anytime he brings a horse in, he's going to be very tough. Graham was the trainer of Animal Kingdom, the one I spoke about before. Mike Maker, he's won this race 3 times. He's got all kind of horses in here. He's got 2 horses that are owned by Kendall Hansen. If you remember Kendall, he owned the horse Hansen, who was the champion 2-year-old, one of the best 2-year-olds we ever saw run at Turfway Park. But he's got a horse called Enhance, who was second in the John Battaglia. That's the race named after my dad. He finished second in there. Robbie Alvarado coming in to ride Enhance. He's, of course, by Hansen as the sire. And the other horse that he's got is, which as soon as I find it here. Oh, Fast and Accurate, right in front of me. Fast and Accurate. He's another horse that's by the great 2-year-old Hansen, and he's coming off 2 straight wins. Tyler Gaffleone is coming in to ride. He's right now, I think he's the 3rd leading rider at Gulfstream. He might be the leading rider at Gulfstream right now, but he's coming in to ride, and it just really should be a heck of a race. So I'm looking forward, as I said, to being there as a fan. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys in the tent, and good luck, and we'll talk about the race. I see the racing secretary guys are coming in right now. Thank you.